from the station that's on your side. News 12, first at 5, continues.
A terrifying moment for an 11-year-old girl caught on surveillance video. We're going to tell you how she managed to fight off her kidnapper and escape. But first, here at home, the mayor of Waynesboro is taking a leave of absence. Is my mic on?
Having some trouble hearing you, so I'll just pick up where you left off. So we're going to start with the mayor of Waynesboro taking a leave of absence. The announcement shocking city leaders there. Going to give you a look at the moment during Monday's council meeting that Greg Carswell actually made that announcement, and I believe we have that to show you.
We actually had the wrong script in. Now we are going to tell you about a completely different story that our ITeam has been working on about improvements with EMS in Aiken County after our ITeam did an investigation over the past 15 months investigating status zero, where basically there were no ambulances available when you called.
Obviously,
Will Rio,
a dangerous situation
yes,
for everyone, whether you live in Aiken County or you happen to be injured in Aiken County.
Absolutely, and Will Rio is telling us how Aiken County officials say they're making it better.
Yeah, and Aiken County officials are labeling this as a huge turnaround in their EMS department. Over the past few months, we've seen a high number of open positions and a high turnover rate for employees. The EMS director and the county administrator says it's because of several changes the county has made. And this is what the Aiken County Sage Mills station looks like right now. The difference, the station is open and running now, something that wasn't happening months ago. The Aiken County EMS department says they're seeing a huge turnaround in their department, like we said. And as of right now, they are reporting only 3 open positions out of 77 in the EMS department. Last year, vacancies rose as high as 21, and the Aiken County officials say that status zero was a regular occurrence for them, and that's when there's no ambulances available to respond to calls. The EMS director says the increase in salaries has made a big difference. And one Aiken County paramedic we spoke to says she's happy it's turning around, but this should never have been the standard.
It absolutely breaks my heart as a paramedic to know that it shouldn't have happened. There's no good reason that any of this should have happened.
And we hear from the Aiken County Administrator about what other changes are happening with the Aiken County EMS and what this means moving forward for the residents of Aiken County, coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Taking a look now over the... We're learning about a second arrest in last week's quadruple shooting at Magnolia Court Apartments on Telfair Street. Deputies arrested 21-year-old Julian Mays yesterday. He's being held on 2 counts of murder and aggravated assault. Deputies arrested 21-year-old Tyler Prather soon after last Thursday's shooting.
A total of 4 women were shot that night. 2 of them died. The coroner says 26-year-old Tashay Moulton and 40-year-old Latoya Oglesby both lived in that apartment complex.
In about an hour, family is said to have a balloon release in memory of Tasha Moulton. That will start at 6 o'clock. It's open to the public, so you do still have some time to get over there if you would like to go. New in the last hour, University of South Carolina now planning for full capacity at home games during this year's football season, so the stands will be shaking with sandstorm. The athletic department says they made the decision after talking with local and university health officials.
Golden Harvest Food Bank.
You're asked to call the sheriff's office at the number right there at the top of your screen.
Members of the NAACP calling for an investigation into both the Charleston County Jail, where Jamal Sutherland died, as well as the county sheriff's office there. The Charleston chapter holding a news conference today addressing Sutherland's death at a county jail back in January. They also talked about the SLED report not arriving at the solicitor's office until sometime in late April.
This action is not surprising. Now, this is not unusual that when we have an incident where you have a death, and then we have officers involved, most times there's a delay. Every time there's a delay if it's a black person, every time. So this is not surprising. When the governor's involved, sometimes people do what they're told rather than what they should do.
Leaders of that organization also calling for a change in the way prisoners at the detention center are treated, including prisoners who are also mental health patients like Jamal Sutherland was when he was taken into custody.
In Savannah, the mayor...
Feel comfortable knowing we've got your back. Stay healthy, and thank you for your support over the last 5 decades. At CSRA Camperland, we sell fun.
A local restaurant was forced to change from salty to sweet, formerly known as La Taberna Dominicana. I'm sure I butchered it.
Maybe you did.
We need
I
some.
think it's pretty close.
Yeah, I tried. But you might remember we first told you about them and their empanadas.
Yeah, because of the pandemic, they made a complete 360. Now they are the Funnel Cake Lounge, okay? News 12's Brianna Collier talked to them about how business has been so far and what they expect moving forward.
It's crazy. Sometimes we still sit around and talk about it.
Business owner Andre Walker describes the unbelievable transformation when they were forced to go from selling empanadas to funnel cakes.
We want to create something where people are still interested after 2 or 3 weeks. That's when they lose interest.
As dramatic of a change it was, like many businesses, Walker says the empanadas just weren't keeping customers coming back wanting more.
With empanadas, it was hit and miss. Some people like it, some people don't like fried dough, some people don't like the meat inside. So with that funnel cake, when you go to the fair, the line, there are so many pop-up stands.
He says that's when he went back to the drawing board, and instead of shutting down completely, he thought of something that would hit the sweet spot for people in the community.
It was kind of like a breath of fresh air. It's like the pandemic's been tough on everyone. Most restaurants, when they hit that point where people are no longer interested, they have to close down.
And his idea, well, just took off.
Here we are almost a month and a half later, and we still have 2-hour waits, and people are still coming in. We've had people driving as far as from different states just to come try it out. We've even had people who are interested in franchising, and we've only been around for a month and a half.
So how's that for a pivot? Walker says they hope to bring empanadas back just in a smaller location. He says they're also thinking about adding chicken and waffle, but instead funnel cake and waffle to the menu. Can you even imagine that?
Yes, I can, and I'd like to. I may not be able to say it, but I can eat it. But the Funnel Cake Lounge is located inside of the La Taberna Dominicana building in Martinez, and they say you don't have to be able to say it either as long as you want to eat it.
Point to the menu and say, yeah, that's what
All of
I'm
that.
All of that.
Delicious.
Anthony, you ready for it?
So good. You guys are making me so hungry over here. As we go through this weekend, expecting summer-like temperatures all the way to 96 degrees. And as we go through next week, could be talking about even warmer conditions. We'll look at that forecast coming up.
And believe it or not, he is a South Carolina principal going the extra mile to send off those seniors. More of his creative beats when we come back. First at 5.
Inspection.
To the class of 2021, you got the flavor, blue and gold, all the colors of this team. And to my seniors, I expect lead and change the planet, change the whole universe.
Check it out. W.J. Keenan High School Principal Vondre Whaley from the Columbia area. This is his latest motivational rap for the students and staff. Principal Whaley started rapping this year as a way just to encourage the school during a very tough year.
Creative way to get on the kids' level, and at first students were skeptical. As you can imagine, if you have a teenager of your own, how they really love it.
He's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
There's no
the
denying that.
enthusiasm, and if your heart's in the right place, you can tell how much you must love the kid.
I like his lighting, his production.
Production value, we give it a 10.
I'm going to give it a 10. And the blue and gold, that's my high school colors as well. So I'll have to add a
And
little bit of
so
that 10.
your college and high school colors are
Blue and gold, which really was helpful for the wardrobe.
Yes, consistency. I did a 180. I went orange and blue to red and black.
Orange, you know how that is for
I
Georgia
quickly
Bulldogs.
tossed all that crap.
Nothing good comes in orange, Anthony, they say. I don't say that because I have a Clemson daughter, but
Okay, there you go.
that's what they say.
They.
All right, well, great, good creativity stuff there for sure. As we go through the rest of this
Aiken County is a safer place tonight after an ITeam investigation.
We thrown the first responders out for I need a minute.
10-4, stand by, we have another call.
We exposed ambulances down to status 0 available to respond to life-saving calls, hundreds of times. But county leaders say not anymore.
I hope that this is a wake-up call for Aiken and that maybe they will start improving their standard of care so that the citizens of Aiken get the care that they deserve.
Good evening. An ITeam investigation getting results across Aiken County. Ambulances are on the road and they are fully staffed.
This is a huge victory for 170,000 people living in Aiken County. The changes come 9 months after we first reported on understaffed EMS crews. A lack of training and ambulances was costing life-saving minutes families didn't have to spend.
Will Rio spoke with county leaders about the changes. For one family, though, these improvements come just too late. Will?
That's right. The Roberts family says that their mother paid a price she shouldn't have, and now they hope these improvements will be enough to save your family.
We're still battling this, and we still have a family member that basically has lost her life because of this.
Brenda Roberts says she and her husband made the call to put his mother into hospice care this week. Their nightmare began 2 years ago when Barbara Roberts had a heart attack.
Cardiac arrest. We need you to send an ambulance immediately. Sir, you don't need to keep repeating you need an ambulance immediately. I need to know what's going on. What do you mean cardiac arrest? Cardiac arrest. Have a heart attack. Get somebody out here. Sir, why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you. Is it taking you longer to take this call? Because you keep repeating yourself.
Our ITeam found when an EMT did arrive, he was improperly dispatched and not equipped to handle the call.
She ended up suffering an anoxic brain injury and has been in basically a vegetative state for 2 years.
The pain is still raw for Brenda. As a former Aiken County paramedic, she knew something went tragically wrong and called the ITeam.
It blows my mind that we can live in a county that is so big and has so much money and so many resources, yet we have such substandard care in our EMS system.
County Administrator Clay Killian says in April, ambulances went to status 0 times all month, a huge improvement over the last spring when the ITeam found Aiken County in status 0 118 times in 123 days.
Our council did a great job stepping up to the plate when we needed to address one of our core frontline most critical services. They needed to address it, and I have to give our council all kinds of credit because they told me to do what needed to be done to get it fixed, and I believe that's what we've done so far.
Killian says the biggest change was money. County Council approved a pay increase for paramedics, taking the starting salary from $39,000 to $54,000. That's helped with recruitment and retention. Of the 77 EMS jobs countywide, only 3 are open. Compare that to last year when at one point 21 jobs were vacant. The county is now trying to get critical EMS certification.
We couldn't get people to look at us. We were anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 for paramedics below what other services around us were paying. And we had to compete if we were going to get any of those folks to come to work for us.
We found this EMS station open across from the Bridgestone plant in Graniteville. Today, a station routinely closed during the status 0 crisis. The county now says all rural stations are open and staffed every day.
I hope that this is a wake-up call for Aiken and that maybe they will start improving their standard of care so that the citizens of Aiken get the care that they deserve.
And Killian tells me there were 10 ambulances in service, and today up from 5 at the height of the crisis last year. Aiken County EMS runs their own, plus they've hired 3 private companies, Gold Cross, South Star, and Aiken Rescue. So some days as many as 16 trucks are on the roads to respond to emergencies.
And this story, as you can see, led to big changes, and the changes are still happening. And it all started with a viewer who saw a problem. So if you see a problem, if you need help getting to the bottom of something, that's what our ITeam is here for. The email address is on your screen right now. It's news12investigates@wrdw.com.
Much more news to come as